Blue Dragon 5 here, ringing in the new year by hosting Disney Debates Year-End Edition. Tonight's Old Lang Syne-based agenda: Best Disney Release of 2024, Most Discouraging Disney Announcement of 2024, Most Anticipated 2025 Disney Release. Without further delay, grab the champagne, a few noisemakers, and have a ball as we watch the fireworks coming from the arena. In this corner, the Fraser Crane of theme park aficionados who dreams always go over budget. And he has takes spicier than Donald Duck on Hot Ones. It's Tiki!
Yeah, I really like the classy, smooth jazz Kenny D cover there. That was a nice choice of intro music. I'm digging it.
Thank you.
And in the opposing corner, Egad! An audience member has entered the ring. It's the Grim Reaper of geek culture, the Little Blue Monstrosity, who runs Little Blue Productions. It's Eli.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Dragon. Hello, folks. I'm thrilled to be a part of this.
This just feels like a lesser version of Beetlejuice, the music.
Yeah.
It's showtime.
Well, you can only do so much when working with royalty-free music.
That is fair.
And joining me on the bench, it's Jacob Weil
Hello.
and Rohit Dar.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
How we doing, fellas?
I was gonna say that that music for Eli kind of sounded like epic Mickey music, but that might be because I'm playing through Epic Mickey for the first time.
On my end, I can't hear any of the music, unfortunately.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know why.
We'll take that as it comes.
I'll be rewatching this, so then I'll hear the music.
So as long as the audience hears it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can hear us, right?
Well, of course I can.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why I can't hear the music as well. But
All right.
You have a non-royalty filter on your end.
Okay.
All right. A little refresher on the rules for those playing and those playing the home game. So we got 3 rounds. Of course, the way this works, you're going to reveal your pick.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to give an opening statement in which you say all the nice, flowery, sunshiny things about your answer. And then it's a fight to the finish. Of course, there'll be a fight until you hear this sound from everyone's favorite co-host, R2D2. When you hear that, he's serving as the bell. That means it's time for the judges to vote on who made the best argument. Whoever gets the most votes gets the point for the round. Now, at the end of 3 rounds, to rein in the new year, you both get a New Year nickel. You know, you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
Nice shiny new nickel.
So it's not a wooden nickel?
No, Jacob, it's not.
Because
Is
we're not
it
supposed to.
associated with the 2024 movie Nickel Boys?
No, but its name is Philip, though.
All right.
And it's a girl nickel. Anyway, so hidden somewhere. So basically, folks, I'm going to tell you what happened. This is based on a true event. So when the ball drops, giant plume of confetti came out with it. And within the giant, so basically inside the ball, giant, nigh infinite plumes of confetti written with the messages from New Yorkers all over written on them for their wishes for the new year. And while they were filling it, I tossed in a coin. Because, who doesn't want, a little spare change, a little lucky spare change to reign in the new year. And anyway, so this is the confetti coin. The confetti coin is hidden somewhere in these giant mounds of confetti that have littered the Disney streets. So it blew all the way from New York to Main Street. So it's hidden somewhere. Where? Which round? No idea. But whatever round it's found in, that coin will be flipped.
All
That's
right.
the way the coin works. Heads, gain a point. Tails, lose a point. Pretty simple.
All right.
There is a penalty word.
Jacob, do you need me to do the coin? I forgot to ask.
Oh, no, I can do it if you guys want a demonstration.
It doesn't matter. It's just kind of customary. Let's just see what the odds are like right now. How's the coin feeling?
Well, let's
Is
see.
it going to be random, or is it just going to be on tails like 5 times in a row?
Well,
pretty even.
That's twice.
Oh my god!
3
Flip
times.
that thing until it gets heads.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
All right, left foot, right foot, indeed. Anyway,
Well,
so
and before Dragon continues, we have some comments from LEB just saying howdy,
Howdy.
and also she also sees the Epic Mickey comparison in Eli's theme.
Mhm.
So Dragon continue.
all right, so starting now, there's a penalty word in effect. Could be a person, could be a place, could be a thing. Might not even be there at all, but it's in effect now. Of course, trust me, gentlemen, you do not want to say, you do not want to enact a penalty word. You don't want to know what happens when you do. It's not going to be pretty. Nothing good happens. It'll be awful. It'll be terrible. It'll be.
It's like the genie trying to resurrect dead people.
It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
What he said.
Other than that, you got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, at the end of the main round, we enter the speed round, in which we are taking audience questions. LEB, I'm talking to you. We're going to be taking audience questions later. Submit a question. We will be inclined to use it. And you, yes, you, audience /LEB, will decide who
I mean,
made the most
Like, we'll certainly
compelling
take
argument.
LED questions, but there's probably going to be more than just LED in the comments. So
Yeah.
anyone watching.
I know, but she's the only one who's commented so far.
Yeah.
But
The
it could
top
be
one who
anyone.
does questions.
Me.
Yes, you.
And her.
Yes, we're talking to you.
But seriously, anybody kind of but Gias is also here. You can add your
You
own,
as well.
and you can submit your own
And
questions.
you, unseen commenter, you 3.
Anyone watching live can comment.
Go
and
for it.
ask. But the stipulation is you have to stick around because you get to judge the point. Get to judge and give the point.
Don't please don't leave us. We're so lonely. Don't abandon us in our hour of need.
Dragon's secretly lonely.
Good one.
It's not a well kept secret, but yes. Anyway, Bro Hiddar's never lonely though.
Oh man,
Don't
let things go. This might age really well, or really badly.
Anyway,
All right. So
do you understand these rules as I've explained them to you both here this fine evening?
Yes, sir.
Eli,
I do.
All right.
Good. Let's cue the randomizer. Let's find out who's going first and who's not.
Oh boy.
as you can see here, I have the names written in alphabetical order. I click the randomizer button, and we'll see. And whoever's on top will go first. 3, 2, 1. Tiki.
Oh my god, I feel like I've gotten it the past 3 or 4 times in a row. All right, whatever.
I mean, there's a 50-50 chance, and it's random. So
I kind of feel like we should ditch the randomizer and just use the coin at a certain point, just because the randomizer feels kind of arbitrary.
You couldn't have brought this up before the show.
Well, we didn't. We were kind of running late, so or else I probably would have, honestly.
and it's basically a tradition at this point.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
All right. Okay, let's get things started.
Woo!
To round 1.
Boom.
What was the best Disney release of 2024? Tiki.
I have Dream Productions.
Eli.
I have gone for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Otherwise known as Deadpool and Friend.
Okay.
Or the Canadian duplex, but that's what Laserdude calls it. But we're just gonna move on.
Oh God.
Okay, Tiki.
The
Opening
Maple
statement.
Brothers.
Yeah. What?
The Maple Brothers.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Okay. Tiki.
So Inside Out 2 was a very, very good sequel. Made a lot of money. We're all happy for it. But we were pretty much expecting Inside Out 2 to be great, and it was great. What I really like from Disney, what I really think is kind of the best sort of release from Disney is a surprise. Like when Dream Productions was announced, we didn't really know how it would go. And honestly, I think Dream Productions turned out to be good enough to where it's essentially Inside Out 1.5 in the canon. And I feel like it's kind of an essential part of the Inside Out storyline now. I feel like it introduced a lot of new characters that might become pivotal in future Inside Out movies. It kind of blows the world wide open. And most importantly, I feel like it's out of everything that Disney released this year, it's the most promising because we're getting Win or Lose next year, which is another Pixar TV show. This was the first Pixar episodic TV show. And if this is anything to go by, I think the future of Pixar is bright. Deadpool and Wolverine was basically a farewell to the Fox Marvel stuff. This is a new beginning. That's all I'll say about that for now.
All right, Eli.
All right, my turn. So, yes. So again, I've gone for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm glad that I didn't go for say Inside Out 2 because I wouldn't want to for both me and Tiki to have something that's both Inside Out 2. But yeah, I mean Inside Out 2 was another biggie for last year. But Deadpool and Wolverine was another one, and Tiki is right about one thing: a farewell and tribute and such to the Fox Marvel universe, not just X-Men, but everything else, like anything else that Fox had done and turned into movies from the Marvel comics. But yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, the long-anticipated film, I mean, ever since, the first two Deadpool films were poking fun and making references to Hugh Jackman and Wolverine and such, and how maybe the possibility, one day, if we were to have a third Deadpool film, even when Fox became part of the Disney family, maybe, just maybe, and we finally did, and it was very exciting to know that Hugh Jackman was coming back to the role of Logan/Wolverine, not the one from the X-Men films, a different variation as the film establishes. I think that everything that Deadpool and Wolverine had to offer was pretty cool, and yeah, to those saying that it's fan service and such, okay, but still, this film turned out to be pretty good. And, even when we thought that, oh no, because when it got affected by the strikes, luckily, it still turned out to be pretty good. Everything, again, that this film had to offer from beginning to end, with its storyline, its cast of characters, whom returned one last time, the cameos and such, some hilarious and unexpected moments, the action, the brutalness, the fighting, everything about Deadpool and Wolverine was excellent. And that's all I've got to say.
All right, gentlemen, fight it out.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be like a jerk and just say like, oh, it's a bad movie because it's nothing but fan service. No, I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine certainly has its merits. It has its place. It definitely kind of revitalized the MCU in some ways, but you literally pretty much said it yourself. It's a pretty good movie, and I think Dream Productions is above pretty good. I think Dream Productions is, at least on the animated side of things, one of the absolute best original series that Disney Plus has made so far, because up until this point they've made stuff like like the Baymax shorts, I Am Groot, Forky Asks a Question, stuff like that, which is it's all fun, but it's a little unsubstantial, whereas Dream Productions it really hits the emotional highs and the creative kind of like sandbox playground quality that Inside Out has, and it really hits it out of the park. For Deadpool and Wolverine, I think there is fun action in it, fun cameos, all that good stuff. And I will admit, I'm not the target audience for this movie, and you kind of have an advantage with the judges in that regard because they are kind of the target audience. But for me personally, I look at it as a movie where all the best parts I can pretty much just watch on YouTube. Like, there are definite highs in the movie, but I just don't necessarily feel like it comes together as a narrative all that strongly.
Okay, and I see where you're coming from. I get and understand what you say, Tiki. Dream Productions, it was a good choice on the subject of Dream Productions, and I will say this. I hate to even be saying this, but please, nobody jump my throats when I say this. I have yet to still see Dream Productions, but I'm going to. In fact, on the Little Blue channel, I, of course, plan to do my review on it. But I can already tell and already consense the fact that, yeah, Dream Productions is really good. A really good mini-series on Disney+. And, it was great to see that we got one last bit of, like, Pixar material right before 2024 came to an end. And I, of course, knew that this show was coming. I was anxious for it, yeah. And I'm glad that my dad and we got to see Inside Out 2 in theater. And, of course, we enjoyed it. Inside Out 2 was no disappointment. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to really say. But, Inside Out, like, both Inside Out materials, the sequel and the miniseries, were pretty good from 2024, as well as Deadpool and Wolverine. And yeah, I see what you mean about Deadpool and Wolverine, and I don't know what else to say, but yeah.
I feel like I rest my case.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to take it easy, so.
Okay.
That was like the most polite debate ever.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
was.
The complete opposite of some of my debates. I'm just,
There you go. There you go.
We have to mop the arena after Rohit debates.
Game
When it's him versus Laser Dude, it's like
that's what I mean. Yeah,
yeah, when they barely let each other speak.
They're hitting each other with heavy objects and participles.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
that was like what we just saw was like high school debate course, but like when Rohit versus Laser Dude, it's like WWE Raw or something.
Yeah, pretty much. All right,
like
Jacob.
That happened on the Valentine's Day debate, did it? Was that the one of them?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I recall, like, man, it got really intense on that one.
Yeah, we've actually had to intervene a couple times. It's like, okay, let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do recall.
hey, it's great. Hey, Laser Dude and I, if nothing else, provide great entertainment for the audience.
And you guys are great debaters. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
Laser Dude was grab Rohit by the head and says, "Are you not entertained?" Hey!
Oh my god.
It's like, but we need
Hey.
but let's go. I mean, I know technically Eli kind of conceded, but we should probably debate amongst ourselves anyway.
All right.
Deliberate. Dragon?
Well, yeah, so where are you coming
That was
from?
his first ever debate question, so give the lad some feedback at least.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, Dragon?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it wasn't crazy about the self-promotion within the round. I'm going to start with that feedback-wise. But aside from that, I think Eli made a good case in in favor of basically laying out the anticipation for Deadpool Wolverine, the overall experience, the action, the cameos. He had a very solid opening statement. The fight itself kind of lacked a little bite, I will say. I mean, they just fully admitted, I knew nothing about Dream Productions. It was kind of just admitting, hey, Inside Out 2 is also great, and I'm just glad that I've seen that. I didn't really hear much, remotely against Dream Productions. So I'm not really impressed with Eli's argument on that one. So I'm have to give that one. I'm gonna vote Tiki on that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, in preparation for this, you definitely should have watched Dream Productions.
I know, I should have. Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah.
So you basically kind of just gave him the point because I'm voting for Tiki as well. So, but I mean, you did good. But I think the other two, the upcoming ones, you might have a little bit more of a ground to stand on.
Oh yeah.
So definitely dig your heels. Not saying you'll get the point necessarily, but you'll definitely have to put up a better fight.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, Rohit.
So, yeah, I think to reiterate that there needs to be a little bit more bite. And what I think to contextualize is that when Tiki said all that stuff about Deadpool, like, it's just like fan service is pretty good and there's like cool moments on YouTube. It's the thing is when he made the description, when he described Dream Productions, it's like, oh, it expanded the worlds, these cool characters, whatever. There's not really. I mean, he probably could have gone through more in the debate back and forth. But I feel like ideally, you probably should have watched Dream Productions. But if you hadn't, just jump on them. It's like, what are those things make it the best Disney release of 2024? You could have said the movie has great thematics about mattering as a person. Great action choreography. Like Sean Levy has great directing. Like you could. The thing is, it's like even if you haven't had the opportunity to watch the other person's thing, take what they say and twist it and use it against them. You got to use judo in debates. You got to be a judo master.
And also, if you haven't watched it, don't make it obvious in your argument.
Yeah, that's kind of like an instant defeat if you do admit that you haven't.
I think we're deliberate. Don't weigh in on it yet. Come on.
I mean,
okay. To be fair, I've already won, so it's
I know, but it just sounds. I don't know. It's a little uncouth.
Also, adopt the Roy Khan strategy of deny, and attack. Don't concede. The thing is, the debate was the energy of like a Bob Ross episode. You can't it doesn't have to be like me and Laser Dude fight, but
you gotta hide in the little bush and you gotta stab him with the broken end of the paintbrush.
No, you have to have a at the very least. You have to convey to not just the judges but to the audience that you genuinely believe your answer is the right answer, and you will be a zealot about it. And if nothing else, people will admire passion and conviction, and you'll at least stand tall. Whether you'll slip and fall, you'll at least stand up.
Yeah,
and take his word for it. He's a lawyer.
All right.
I mean, so he knows all about like speaking and all that.
He deals with battered and bruised egos all the time.
So LEB says, I haven't seen a single thing Disney released in 2024.
Maybe it's an audience thing.
Vicious Eli.
Yes, LEB. I am trying, but honestly, it's kind of not really in my character. So,
okay.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Instead of just being aggressive, try to be curious and ask questions, and just try to dig deeper into what the other person's argument is. Because
find your groove. There's no right way to debate.
Assume Tiki has no follow through.
But also just remember that the speed round is the great equalizer. So anything can happen in the speed round.
It's like Two Faces coin at the end of Two Faces.
Find your groove. Find what works for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Just don't throw off your groove.
Sorry.
You threw off my groove.
All right, so that brings it to Tiki 1, Eli 0.
Yep.
So, Dragon, did you find the coin?
Well, let's see. There's a lot of confetti here. Let me kick around some of this here. I'm afraid not. No.
Those are some
yet.
immersive sound effects, Dragon.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not searching my heart out quite yet.
We'll be Atmos up in here, man. All right, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. Not all of us can afford 40X.
I'm just joshing.
I'm sure I could probably find some royalty-free sound effects somewhere.
Anyway, so in short, no.
All right. What about the word?
Jacob?
Well, I just received feedback,
Yeah?
and I'm consulting the Magic 8 Ball.
Oh boy.
It says outlook unlikely.
Ah.
Or-
Don't give up hope, kids. We'll punish them one way or another. You know, these poor SOBs, they don't know what they're in for.
Okay.
Okay. Round 2. What was the most discouraging Disney announcement of 2024? Tiki.
Yeah, I have Disney's announcement and rollout of the Lightning Lane Premier Pass across their U.S. parks.
Eli.
For this, I have chosen the closure of Muppet Vision 3D at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Tiki. Dazzle me.
So this is literally the only thing that Disney did this year that I felt compelled to just get on video and do a full-blown vlog ranting about how pissed I was about it. I mean, there was no other answer for me here. This pissed me off so much. I'm still angry about it. Essentially, Lightning Lane is one of the worst things that's happened to Disney parks just in its regular form, where it's a good service to use, but it's mandatory. And it's like, it basically kills standby, because with Lightning Lane, everyone's going to use it, and people are just going to literally stand in the standby lines. It's just a miserable experience. It just totally kills the crowd flow in the parks. Attractions like Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure, Monsters Inc., Mike and Sully to the Rescue, Pirates of the Caribbean, high capacity attractions that just should not have it, that would operate effectively without it, have it. What are we going to do? How are we going to solve this? Let's do a $300 premium pass that, instead of having to do the time, so at least the times that guests are flowing in are at least somewhat managed and, controlled by the algorithm. No, screw that. We're tossing it out the window. For the rich of the rich, they can just come in and clog up the lines whenever the hell they want. Now, I want to make this clear. If Lightning Lane Premier Pass were the only Lightning Lane that was available, basically like how Universal does their Express Pass, where it's like a couple $100, that would be fine. That would be an improvement over the system we have now. What really pisses me off, and what is just straight up discouraging, and just the we've got to have money of it all, is the fact that both the regular Lightning Lane and now the premium Lightning Lane are all using the same queue, and it's just a mess. And it's just the crowd control at Disney parks is just a nightmare right now. It's so discouraging, and I think that just fits the wording of this question the most. But Eli, I will admit that I think you have more of a chance, because this is way more of like a personal beef that I have with Lightning Lane. So I think you've got a chance with this one.
All right, Eli, what you got?
Okay, so first off, thank you for that, Tiki. But yes, Muppet Vision 3D. I mean, how can you not be pissed off at this as well? Because this is Muppet Vision 3D we're talking about, and I recall like what Dragon said previously, that this could be like a national monument and such, like it'd be a permanent thing at Disney's Hollywood Studios, a staple, and so on. I mean, why can it not be? Like, it's sad. And this was, in fact, one of the very last pieces of Muppet material that Jim Henson, the father of the Muppets, ever, worked on, and what he brought to Muppet Vision 3D. The last bit of great, Muppet era from Jim Henson himself. And the fact that, this did proceed to be finished and opened just a year after Jim's passing. And that's obviously, what he would have wanted. I mean, Unfortunately, because then if you know your history, because there would have been a Muppet Land with Muppet Vision, but that never came to be, and all that we got was Muppet Vision 3D. But granted, there were a couple of other things that did come, like Here Come the Muppets. But, point being is that Muppet Vision 3D, it was definitely, it is one of the top best 3D attractions that the Disney parks ever had. And how later on the Disney parks would do other 3D attractions like It's Tough to Be a Bug and Mickey's PhilharMagic and A Bug's Land. It's Tough to Be a Bug. I feel as though that should have been a staple or something to Animal Kingdom, because Under the Tree of Life and such, but apparently nope, that's not the case for both It's Tough to Be a Bug and Muppet Vision, and that especially goes for Muppet Vision because it is really a shame that, we don't know yet still as of the stream when it's coming to a close, but it's going to soon. But at the same time, I think we will look forward to the Monsters Inc. land, despite that we will miss Muppet Vision 3D. And sometimes all good things must come to an end, and sadly, Muppet Vision 3D is now one of them. It won't be the same. Granted that Disney is finding ways to, save the footage, and that's what that's rightfully so what they should be doing, and they are. But the problem is, it won't be the same without, say, the animatronics of the Muppet characters, from Stadler and Waldorf, the orchestra penguins, Swedish Chef running the film projection, and of course, most notably, Sweetums, and having Bean Bunny, launch the fireworks. Everything that Muppet Vision 3D brought to the park guests, to the Muppet fans, it's sad. It really is going to be a sad day when it closes. So there you go.
Okay. Let's fight to the end, guys.
All right, Eli, honestly, I feel like you kind of made some of my arguments for me in regards to, we are getting an awesome-looking Monsters, Inc. land, which, honestly, the door roller coaster alone is one of those armchair Imagineering concepts that's just been floating around forever, and it sucks that we have to sacrifice Muppet Vision to get it, but I'm still excited for it.
Yeah.
I think the difference between my argument and your argument is that your argument, there is hope that Muppet Vision is going to be preserved. There is hope. They are building an Electric Mayhem version of not building it, but overlaying Electric Mayhem onto Rock and Roller Coaster.
That's right.
There's also a theater right there. There is hope that after whatever the hell this villain show is going to be, after that has its run, which after Villain Land opens, it's going to, there's not going to be a need for it. There's hope that we could move Muppet Vision and, like you said, make that whole area kind of a little mini Muppet Land. I don't think there's any hope with Lightning Lane. I think Lightning Lane Premium Pass and them rolling it out the way they did is just kind of the nail in the coffin for me that says that Disney does not care about crowd control, does not care about guest experience. All they care about is cadence. They certainly don't care about guests who are on a budget. They don't want those people in the park, frankly. And I think, again, just the word discouraging in this question, everything about Lightning Lane Premium Pass is discouraging. It's discouraging as someone who's on a budget. It's discouraging as someone who hates Lightning Lane in general. With Muppet Vision, at the very least, we're going to get the film preserved. So it's bittersweet. Whereas Lightning Lane Premium, I think, is just utterly just corporate nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I haven't really looked into the whole Lightning Lane thing. I'm aware of it, but honestly, you want me to get vicious? I'll get vicious. Screw that. I don't care. Because Muppet Vision 3D is definitely definitely a biggie that will definitely be missed, and it's a shame that what Disney is doing. They've made bad decisions, but sometimes they've had to make sacrifices, and that of course goes for Muppet Vision. I'm sure they've hated and regretted doing it, but still, because it's gonna be still a sad day when it closes. Even before when Muppet Vision was announced to be closed, already we've noticed some things that were not looking good at the Muppets Courtyard / Grand Park, like the unexpected closure of the Muppet Gift Shop. That's one thing, and how just a bunch of other things that were not looking good in the Muppets Courtyard / Grand Park. from say removing the hot air balloon with Kermit's face,
Mhm.
the logo, Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D, that whole thing. Like, ugh.
But everything you just listed is kind of reasons why, although it's bittersweet, I don't necessarily think this was unexpected. Whereas I was never thinking that Disney was just going to be like, okay, we're going to, Universal's Express Pass. Well, no, we're going to do that, but we're just going to add it on top of Lightning Lane. It's just going to be like, I never expected them to do something so anti-consumer. Whereas with Muppet Vision, like, it's sad, but you know what? Our dear friend Adventure Blue Dude is actually he was actually in the park yesterday, I believe. And there's like sold out crowds for it now. So it sucks that it's going away, but I think a positive of the situation is that people are making the pilgrimage out there, and those last shows are going to be special. So again, I feel like it's a bittersweet situation that is going to lead to probably some very happy memories, probably some friendships being made along the way in those pilgrimage to see it. Whereas Lightning Lane Premium is literally just like a rich get richer, like Disney pushing out the middle class and catering to the upper. I mean, it's just corporate bullshit. That's all it is, and it's just way more discouraging to me than kind of like something that's sort of a necessary evil.
Yeah. Still, Lightning Lane, I don't know, because I don't know, because, I rest my case on Muppet Vision, and you make a point because, when the day hits, like the last days for Muppet Vision and the crowds and, the mentioning of friendships, I know where you're going with that. Yeah, that makes sense and more than likely will happen. And seeing all the numerous of vlogs and videos that will be out on YouTube that we've seen before with attractions, with their closures. I can recall from, say, the original Country Bear or Splash Mountain, those being examples that I remember watching and experiencing. And, it's gonna be, it'll be a day long remembered, as Vader would say. The upcoming closure of Muppet Vision, the numerous of people attending on its last days, and especially the crowd will be roaring with applause. I guarantee you, I know exactly when they would do that. Just, yeah. And again, for Lightning Lane, I get your point, and Disney, they just, when will they learn? When will they learn?
Okay, good. Done. Got it. Okay.
Thanks for
Rohit, what say you, counselor?
I think Eli, you're still not getting to. This is a debate, and the thing is, the debate is that both sides are to provide a thesis, and then after the thesis is provided by both sides is when you challenge the thesis, trying to poke holes and see is there legitimacy to your points or validity, all that stuff. And so, one, you made the same mistake as the first debate where you said I didn't have enough research or looked into it. But two, the way you talked about Muppet Vision 3D, you talked about how it was personally affecting all these cool things and all that stuff. But the thing is that Tiki, he went about how it's discouraging because the impact on the overall experience of the theater parks, a tangible cost, a disadvantage, anti-consumer, all that stuff. And I feel like you didn't challenge that framing of it at all. Like, if I was you, like, if I was in your place, I would have said, well, Tiki, like, how with the, Premier Pass situation, even though it's taking a lot of money, that money's used to probably offset losses in other parts of Disney. And if Disney didn't do this, then maybe they would have to make cuts or layoffs or whatnot. And so,
Rohit, believe me, they're already doing the bare minimum.
No, but like that's the thing. It's like Eli didn't even make those arguments.
Yeah.
The thing is, it was interesting. You said that what was happening for Muppet Vision is necessary evil. He could have flipped it back and say, "Hey, it's a necessary evil. We're 4 years out from the pandemic. Inflation's baked in all aspects of the economy. So, is it really surprising for there to be like a big price gorge and the consumer is not 100% there?" And I think that's the thing, Eli. It's like. It kind of at the end, it just didn't feel like a debate. You were just kind of, you and Tiki were commiserating how both those things suck. And it's like, well, both things can suck. But you have to argue that your experience is most discouraging and most impactful, not just on you, but to everyone that is a Disney fan. Tiki, I think, made it clear how this decision negatively impacts people who are Disney fans that are on a budget and, want to have some level of a quality experience of the theater park experience and at the theme parks, and clearly that's not there. So I think for the next debate and for the speed rounds, you have to challenge the premises, the framework that Tiki has, because if not, then you don't have a debate. So the point goes to Tiki.
Well, damn.
All right. Well, Eli, I'm not going to mince words. I don't think you're going to want to hear this. It wasn't good. Yeah, there was a lot wrong with that one. I mean, I think again, I think you had the stronger answer, like periods. I mean, I think you had ample. Like you started into it like I was like, okay, it's a staple now removed, and it's very sad. You hit the sad point very well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All good there. I think Vera Farmiga would be proud. It's so sad because it is so sad, and I think you hit that part very well. Monument to it's one of the last Muppet materials. It's a tribute to Jim Henson himself. All the things that it was a symbol of the potential and the expansion of the Muppet brand. But then, honestly, just even in the opening statement, which again, I think you gave yourself too much rope in the opening statement, which ended up hanging it, because I think you made a strong point about why it was a travesty, and then you kind of went into wistfully reminiscing about, well, here's the bright side though. That's where you killed your argument right there. Just saying, well, they're going to save the footage. I'm going to miss the animatronics, but we have. It's you have monster, the monsters, Monsters Inc. The kind of door coaster coming. So there's it's the cost of progress, like the cost, like that's basically giving Tiki the point right there. That's where that was the beginning of and that's when you kind of you went over like the roller coaster going down. It's basically you gave the company man argument for Muppet, saying we're all saddened about it, but we're gonna be fine. It's just piece by piece, it just kind of got dismantled. I'm afraid it just, it's well. Here's the thing. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I think you started to show potential with the piece by piece it was dismantled thing, which I know Tiki kind of ended up taking that into kind of a direction that fed into his argument. But I would stand by that as like that was like it was more of like it was kind of like a tragedy. It was kind of falling away piece by piece than it was like it was like writing on the wall. But that's just my 2 cents on that. But anyway, yeah. So could have gone better. So point goes Tiki.
Well, I'm just gonna say my point goes to Tiki, and I'm not gonna go into a minute-long spiel over that.
Yeah, so you're not the only one who goes on too long, Eli. I do too. Jacob's sick of it.
No, I mean, it's just after both Rohit and you. I'm just going to keep things brief.
Yep. Okay. All right. Brings us.
And before we move on, I was like, I'm going to say something one of my acting people did too. My acting teacher said to me once. Said to the class, but we're only giving you constructive criticism because we believe you can do better. All right. Okay. So, Dragon, as you were about to say.
All right. Jacob, as the word said.
I'm consulting the playback. The Magic 8 Ball. Don't count on it.
Don't count on it.
Oh. So yeah, the word is not there.
Yeah. I'm sick and tired of looking through all this stupid confetti and oh my god, I just swept it all in anger and there it is. It's right there, Jacob. It's right there. Look at it.
Wow, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. How about that? It's a confetti coin, guys. We found it.
All right.
So this gets awarded to Tiki. What say you? You want to flip it, or you want to have Eli flip it?
I'll give it to Eli.
All right, Eli, let's flip and see what you got.
Well, at least you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, heads he gets a point, tails he stays the same.
Hey,
He's on the board.
He's on the board. All right.
Let's see if we can
Look at
pull
him
a
now.
Let's see if we can pull a Tegan.
All right.
Eli, do you remember what happened with Tegan?
I believe so. Yeah.
It's like where she basically won because Laser Dude kept giving. Well, not Laser. Well, I think it was a Laser Dude.
I think so, yeah.
Basically, kept losing coin flips or giving him turns. She kept getting points from it.
It was so close to the first clean sweep without practically without a round.
I know, right?
and she ended up winning.
It would have taken a lot of work not to after all that.
Oh yeah. So to Eli, you're on the board.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Time for round 3, Dragon.
Yes.
Round 3.
Which 2025 Disney release should be the most anticipated? Tiki.
Yeah, I have Avatar Fire and Ash.
Eli.
And I have gone for the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch.
All right. All right, Tiki. Opening statement.
So with Avatar movies, here's the thing. They aren't like the most compelling as far as like character and narrative and all that stuff. It literally doesn't matter. Because what I am anticipating for Avatar Fire and Ash, and something that I am sure the movie is going to give me, is something that no other Disney experience next year is going to give me, which is an immersive as hell, mind-boggling 3D IMAX experience in theaters that is truly like event filmmaking. And one of the other reasons I'm excited for this one in particular is that if James Cameron is still sticking to his 5-movie plan for Avatar, this is his middle chapter. This is going to be the turning point. And from what little we know about the actual plot, the Na'vi, the Fire Na'vi, are basically going to be like the Fire Nation from the other Avatar franchise, essentially. But I think changing the narrative, having a tribe of Na'vi be the antagonist, I think that's honestly going to do a lot to make this movie more interesting. I think Way of Water was an improvement over the first Avatar as far as narrative. It still wasn't great, but I think there were more things to latch onto with that movie, narratively speaking, than there was with the first Avatar, which the first Avatar, by all extents and purposes, it's literally nothing but Dances with Wolves or Fern Gully or Pocahontas in space. I mean, that's the meme. It's an accurate meme, and it makes watching that movie very forgettable and very, like, monotonous. I think Avatar The Way of Water was an improvement over that. It was a little long and drawn out. There was some cringy dialogue, but I think the characters were definitely an improvement, especially the new characters. And I think with this third one, we're only going to get deeper into the actual storytelling that James Cameron has at play, along with what is absolutely guaranteed to be just a total experience at the movies. So that's my pitch.
Eli.
Okay, so so again, I've chosen the upcoming live-action Lilo and Stitch, the remake, live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch, to say it in that correct order. I think even before this now exists and it's on its way, I for a long time was interested and looking forward to maybe the possibility that maybe Lilo and Stitch could be next, and sure enough, it is. Yeah, we're getting it officially. I'm totally aware, how people feel towards the remakes, but for me, I'm in that row, or however, whatever specific word is that I'm trying to say, where this could look, where my attitude is, this could look really interesting in live action. Like, ever since Disney started this whole thing of doing live action remakes, it leaves people wondering, like, could they do this next or that? could it be possible? And I think Lilo and Stitch, for a while, seemed the possible one where, oh, you know what? We've seen this kind of thing before in live action, like E.T. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch, we're finally getting it, and I know how people are feeling about it. But for me, my attitude is this may turn out pretty good. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm more excited how it's going to look on screen in live action, from the aliens, the style, the look, like the locations in Hawaii and in outer space, the galactic Federation and so on, and the fact that Chris Sanders is coming back to voice Stitch, and new faces, well, and some that alongside with Chris that are coming back. That's great to see. And I'm really anticipated for the next trailer. The more we get, and whether this turns out, good, whatever, however people feel about it. For me, I'm gonna enjoy this. I have no doubt that I'm gonna enjoy this. Even my mom. Shout out to my mom. She's looking forward to this. She's even found live action Stitch so adorable. I don't think. Yeah, I'd like to try and see this in theaters. I don't think this should be one to miss out on. And it's great to see that it's coming to theaters. Yeah, live action Lilo and Stitch. We'll wait and see how this turns out, and by the next trailer and so on. And yeah, let's see what the Lilo live action remake of Lilo and Stitch has in store.
All right, boys, touch gloves. Have at it.
Oh, is it? I go first.
I mean, it's free form, but I'm kind of letting you get the first punch.
Oh,
in if you want
okay,
it.
all right,
Yeah,
all right, all right.
he's like bending. He's bending over right now, man.
Right.
All right. I'll go
Avatar
first.
is kind of an easy target. I'm not gonna lie. We both kind of have easy targets. That's the funny thing. Avatar or the live action remakes aren't necessarily beloved by the fan base.
Yeah. Well, I will. Okay. Well, I'll go first more than Mary. Yeah. Your pick on Avatar, yeah, and that's the official title, Fire and Ash. Well, I'm not Avatar. The franchise itself, I like it, but it's not really one of my favorite franchises. And I mean, knowing that the Avatar sequels were on the way, and it took quite a while, and the same kind of going for the next one. Well, just have to wait and see how it turns out. But I'm sorry, but live action Lilo and Stitch, I feel, in my opinion, well, is one of the anticipated, to me, anticipated films for this year to some people, including me. And, I rest my case that I think this could look amazingly visually and such. By now we've gotten so used to how the live action films have been received, but but yeah, I don't know, because I'm just not. I mean, I don't feel anticipated for Avatar, Fire and Ash. We'll just have to wait and see how this baby turns out. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of anticipated, well, a good chunk, I should say, of live action films that are making their way this year in 2025, and we'll just have to wait and see because how each of them will turn out. So,
I mean, one thing I will give you credit for is that the character design on Stitch is actually appealing. Unlike the, oh my god, what the hell is that? Is that my sleep paralysis demon? Get it away from me. That is the Seven Dwarves. That's my reaction to the Seven Dwarves every time I see that teaser. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They didn't get the dwarves right. Well, what'd you expect? I mean, sometimes, like, this isn't like a cartoon. I mean, granted, like, they should at least have, like, when it comes to the live action characters, like the dwarves or the alien characters, whoever, they should at least, they should not have them look so cartoony looking, but still have some, like, details and such that the animated versions have. But still, I don't know. Surprisingly, I hate to say this, but the dwarves designs actually, when I first saw them and when I reacted to the trailer.
Don't say something you're going to regret, Eli.
What's that?
Don't say something that you're going to regret. Don't incriminate yourself, man. Don't dig a hole for yourself. Don't do it. Don't say the dwarves look good. I'm begging you.
They look is that okay to say?
All right. Okay, well, let me tell you, I will say that out of the live action remakes, like Lilo and Stitch is probably the one I'm most likely to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what my fear about it is, though. And obviously, you kind of know this. You kind of know where I'm coming from here. Lilo and Stitch is literally like, it's not my number one favorite Disney movie, but it's certainly in my top 5, and it's my number one, like, it's the Disney movie I have the biggest emotional attachment to.
It's very personal for you.
Yeah, I literally have a tattoo of Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I worry about. Like, I feel like if they do nail it, then it could be genuinely one of the absolute best live action remakes. And I will admit that that possibility might be on the table. But the film is so personal for me. And also, I feel like there's elements of that original film. For example, just how much of a brat Lilo is. And I say that in an endearing way. Like, I've always connected to the character of Lilo. Lilo, for me, is very autism coded. That's a big reason of why I connect with the movie as much as I do. But she is a little freaking son of a bitch in that movie. And I can't see a live action little girl being that feral. And I don't. And another thing is that I feel like Disney nowadays, like taking Facilier out of the Princess and the Frog ride is an example of this. They are kind of leaning away from spiritualism. And one of the big things I worry about is that the Lilo and Stitch story, that screenplay, is just marinated in Polynesian lore and spiritualism and culture. And I don't know if Disney's going to go as hard on that. And if that kind of stuff is not there, I think it's going to be a very watered down product, no matter how appealing the character designs are. I just think there's a lot that can go wrong with this that's going to just make it disappointing for me. Whereas I feel like Avatar, the nice thing about Avatar movies essentially having a mid reputation with the public, which I admit they kind of do, there's really nowhere to go but up. Like, I fully admit they are not the greatest movies as far as dialogue or characters, but they are experiences. And I don't think I'm going to get as cinematic. Like, I've got to go up to San Francisco to see it on the biggest IMAX screen possible with Lilo and Stitch that I'm going to get with Avatar Fire and Water. Avatar Fire and Water is a movie I am going to be tempted to make that pilgrimage for.
Fire and Water?
I'm sorry, Fire and Ash.
Fire and Ash, yeah.
And that to me is like why I think it should be the most anticipated, because it is the big event out of the two.
Well, I don't know. I'm just surprisingly I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling the anticipation for the next Avatar sequel, the second one coming later this year. Again, we just have to wait and see how it turns out. But I'm sorry, because the live action Lilo and Stitch. That's one of them that I'm anticipated for. It's not the only one that I'm anticipated for, but definitely, but overall, because I've chosen the live action remake of Lilo and Stitch, and I have to say, like, the Lilo being a little son of a bitch, as Tiki said. Well, I feel the same way, but for Lilo in Stitch has a glitch. I'm sorry, but yeah, Lilo did not appeal to me, and Stitch has a glitch. Yeah. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but yeah. But also, I recall hearing that the director of live action Lilo and Stitch, he's wanting this to be very close, like a tribute and so on, stay true to the original, since he's a fan of the original. And well, now that it's finished, and with how much more they have to work on it, but I think by now they would have finished it. But yeah, just all ready and for it to be released on the big screen this coming May. Yeah, I really hope that this could succeed. And we've had some pretty good few good live action remakes, and maybe the live action Lilo and Stitch could be one of them. We'll just have to wait and see. We can't be for sure.
Okay, Jacob.
I'm actually gonna say I'm gonna give the point to Eli.
Hey.
I think he really brought a good argument to this one.
Yeah, for the Lilo and Stitch, I had a good feeling because how I'm feeling towards it.
Rohit.
I feel like you gotten better. I still feel like you could have gotten a little bit more forceful against the Avatar thing. So the point goes to Tiki, but I will say like you've definitely proven over the course of these 3 rounds.
Okay, I'm going to cast a vote for Eli. So Eli's on the board.
Look at that. Look at him go.
Ooh,
Tie game.
that brings it to 2-2.
Deuces.
Oh yeah. Way to go, Eli.
Yeah. No, I was being for real because Avatar, the third Avatar film is not one of those live action films I'm
And honestly, Eli, I don't really feel a lot of hype around it, like just in the pop culture consensus in general. So you're not wrong there. Like there is kind of, I do feel like Lilo and Stitch is kind of the more, like I do think at the end of the day, I'm more excited about Avatar, but Lilo and Stitch is probably the more high profile thing right now. It's the one that more people are talking about.
That was the one that clinched it for me when he said,
I mean,
no one's go on.
But to be played devil's advocate for Avatar, literally the only thing that exists for it are like the logo and some concept art right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but there's not a ton that exists for Lilo and Stitch either. It's just the teaser trailer and some posters. So
yeah, but everyone knows how that story is supposed to go, though.
Right.
I mean, Lilo and Stitch already has a name. Both of these already have names attached to it.
All right.
Okay. All right, Jacob, was the word said?
Outcome seems unlikely.
Okay. Curse you, Magic 8-Ball! All right. So that we've reached the end of the main round.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I'm going to reward you both. Here you go. 2 nickels to rub together. It's the New Year's nickel. There you go. All right, so this is completely optional, guys. You can do whatever you want with these. No penalty. Nothing. No incursions if you choose not to flip. Tiki, what do you say? You want to flip?
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want it to be like 3-1 going into the speed round, so I'm gonna avoid
Eli,
that.
what say you? You feeling lucky, huh?
Yeah. So far, I am.
Do you want to flip?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Let's
he's gonna flip.
You feel lucky, punk? Do you
Oh,
Bummer.
he tempted fate. Okay.
feel tails?
That brings it back to 2-1.
Well, at least he knows he earned the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that brings us to the speed rounds. So reminder, audience, and Kogias and LEB. We are we're taking audience questions now. So if you have questions, feel free to submit them. We'll be inclined to use them, and you will be able to judge the winner. The way the speed round works: it's 30 seconds followed by a 15-second rebuttal. Whoever speaks first goes first. It's a race to 5 points. This is the round that separates the boys from the men. Do you understand these rules as I've reiterated and explained them to you both here this evening as the clock ticks down?
Yes.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on. All right, let's see. Here's a question. Which Muppet, pray tell, should take Ryan Seacrest's job and host New Year's Rockin' Eve?
Muppet Newsman, of course.
All right, Tiki says Muppet Newsman.
How about Clifford?
Eli
Ooh.
says Clifford.
You
Clever.
think he's there?
Interesting choices.
Yeah. Well, of course.
All right. Okay, so yeah.
I'm just saying when you're ready.
Okay, go. So the thing with Clifford is that he's a good choice, but he's a little bit of an acquired taste. He's a bit on the obscure side. He's a 90s Muppet. The Muppet Newsman, I think what appeals about him in this specific situation is that much like Dick Clark himself, Muppet Newsman is basically just like generic host. And that's what makes him the perfect villain for this category. He's going to give it to you. He's going to deliver it. There's not going to be any frills, but in this situation, you don't want anything too fancy.
I'm figuring it all out.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay. So, Clifford, well, imagine that he, like in Muppets Tonight, because he, out of nowhere, was handpicked by Kermit to be the host of this new Muppet show. So imagine that he would come out of retirement being a part of the Muppets, coming back, and like in Muppets Tonight, he would, out of nowhere, being handpicked to, take over Ryan Seacrest's place. Now, imagine what he would bring to his hosting for this, like what he brought to Muppets Tonight. It would be very interesting and different, and different from Kermit's.
And again, I feel like it's kind of like an issue of bringing something different versus bringing something that is very reliable and predictable. Muppet Newsman, much like Dick Clark himself, is a reliable industry man who's just going to do a very solid job, and that's going to be it. With Clifford, he's kind of a little bit more of a wild card.
Okay. Well, I mean, the Muppet news anchor is pretty good, and just, because how each of them would be hosting this, taking Ryan's place, be very different from one another, but I could imagine, I guess, as time has passed, and because Clifford had been complete absent. Okay. That was
All right.
quick.
Well, that's a speed round for you.
I know.
Okay. All right. This is a tough one here. All right.
This was a really good debate, actually.
This is a solid one here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna side with. So I was getting a lot of platitudes from Tiki on this one. Well, you know what? Jay, where are you leaning on this? You don't have to pick it, but decide where are you leaning on this one?
Well, I'm leaning towards the fact that you have to choose.
Okay.
How helpful you are.
Jacob.
I could rule against you out of spite, Tiki. You do realize that, right? Anyway, okay, let me think. All right.
I'm not, because I don't want to influence your decision in any way, Dragon.
Okay.
That's very kind of you.
All right, let's see. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give it to Tiki.
All right.
I mean,
That was
honestly,
like the most split I've heard Dragon on any of these in a while, though, Eli. So that really was a well thought one.
in all honesty, I was going to go with Tiki as well. I think I just didn't want to influence Dragon's choice.
Right.
And my personal choice would have been Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe.
Yeah, but again, Pepe's too much of a wild card. With Muppet Newsman, you get exactly what you're getting with that guy.
Well, I mean, the wild card would make
ability to it.
The wild card would make it more interesting, okay?
I guess.
Or he could have played it safe and gone with Kermit.
Well, yeah, Kermit would have been the boring answer.
Well, it would have been more than Muppet News guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so next question.
Yeah, let's see. LEB. What do you think, Jacob? Is this LEB question?
We've got a question submission now.
I got it. Jacob, do you think we should use this question submission?
I don't know.
If you guys are okay with it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay,
Oh
LEB.
my God. That's a bold question.
And which Pixar film should never get a sequel?
The Good Dinosaur.
I get what you're saying.
Well-
You made Rodar get a good laugh at that.
Well, Eli, what are you going with?
Here's a good one. Wally.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, it seems obvious.
All right.
So, Tiki, when you're ready.
So I don't even know what I need to say about The Good Dinosaur. I feel like the more time goes on, the more it's just universally regarded, even below stuff like Cars 2, as the absolute bottom of the barrel for Pixar. Production on that movie was an absolute nightmare. It was the most rocky Pixar. Like, there's literally no reason to do another one. The characters suck. It's totally unmemorable. It's just an absolute wash of a movie, and there's no incentive to do another one.
Okay, I've got this. Wall-E, yeah. There's really no point for there to be a sequel for Wall-E because this is a perfect film on its own, a one-time fluke. You know, everything that went into the making of Wall-E from beginning to end, despite the fact we did get a short film, Bernie, that was acceptable, that was good. But at the same time, why does the story need to continue where it ended off perfectly where it ended? You know, a happy ending for everybody, the romance between Eve and Wall-E. It's just it's unnecessary.
I think Wall-E is a film that's only gotten more relevant the more time has gone by, and I actually think that revisiting that world and exploring the concept of the humans trying to rebuild Earth is a really, really relevant thing. And Wall-E, unlike The Good Dinosaur, is actually a very lucrative property. Give him a couple more seconds for that.
Yeah, I'll give him like 18 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so I get your point, and you know, it really is up to Pixar if they would consider doing a sequel to Wall-E. And you know what, Good Dinosaur, I didn't hate it, but you know, at least Good Dinosaur wasn't an Ice Age wannabe, not like having a sequel or two. But yeah.
All right, LEB. Whenever you've made your decision.
Lay it on us.
I think my personal choice.
Fate of the debate might be in your hands.
Well, she chose Tiki.
All right.
Okay.
My personal choice for that one probably would have been Ratatouille.
It would have been solid for sure. I was leaning Soul for a while there.
What? We don't even want to see the sequel, Souls?
There you go. That'd be a fitting title for the sequel.
Then the third movie is just Soul 3 or and then Soul. The fourth one is Soul Resurrection.
just like the Alien films.
Yep. I would have been I also could have been a smart aleck and said Monsters Inc.
Oh. Because
technically they didn't get a sequel.
That's true. That's true.
They got a prequel.
Would Monsters at Work? I mean, I know.
Well, season 2 of Monsters at Work, I think technically would count as a sequel, though.
Would it?
Well, maybe you're right.
Then, if we count the series, then yes, that would count because season 2 is a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, Monsters at Work is canon, so
yeah.
Well, all right, I guess I wouldn't have worked then. That would have been my smart aleck answer anyway.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Well. All right, Jacob. What do you think? Should we go with a Pixar question? Should we go with a New Year's themed question? Or Star Wars themed questions?
Well, we've kind of already done, both kind of New Year, with Pixar. So let's either go with the Star Wars or the New Year's one.
I tell you what. Let's go with the. Well, what do you think? Do we go with the funny Star Wars question, or the funny New Year's question?
Okay, well, if we do one, can we at least do the other one as a non-canon as a speed round of Tiki wins?
All right, fine. Let's do the funny New Year's question, and we'll
I mean, all right. I kind of want to do the Star Wars one, but
All right,
I
fine.
would
We'll
prefer
do the Star Wars.
one, because we already did like a New Year's theme
Yeah.
speed round. So
All right, fine. Okay.
and we can do the other one. We can do the other one later.
Okay, which Star Wars planet?
Oh no, I wrote this one.
Oh no.
Okay, which Star Wars planet would the Empire blow up to celebrate New Year's?
Atten.
Okay.
Eli, if you're not caught up on Skeleton Crew, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
I'm not, sadly.
Well,
Well, he doesn't know what the F to tell you then.
Okay, then.
It's basically which planet should the Empire blow up to create their own fireworks?
I guess this is really popping in my head. Naboo.
All right, Naboo. All right,
Tiki?
Okay, so at Aden in Skeleton Crew, it's essentially a New Republic minting planet where they're just minting a whole bunch of New Republic credits, like vaults and vaults and vaults of it, under the Empire's noses, I should add. And they have like all these shields and force fields and stuff blocking it. What better way for the Empire to show its control and dominance over the Galactic Federation and everyone, the Galactic, than blowing up at Aden, which is something that they've been going, yeah. That was not great.
Okay, so what I've got for Naboo is that, well, I mean, maybe like think of it like this, like, well, Palpatine, you know, he's probably gotten, you know, sick and tired of Naboo because that was his home planet. The memories that he has of Naboo, and even especially because, yeah, everything that is on Naboo, you know, and like them destroying it, especially to dispose the Gungans, most notably Binks, and maybe, you know, Palpatine keeping Vader from remembering Padme and such.
So again, my point is that at Aden is essentially this this whole like other government existing outside of the Empire. The Empire cannot have that shit. I frankly don't think the Empire has any other choice but to squash at Aden. I feel like it's the only logical conclusion.
Eli, give like 2 extra seconds.
Okay. You know, if they would not destroy Naboo, maybe because they would probably, you know, take over Naboo entirely. Again, most notably, dispose of the Gungans and maybe do something underwater, like build Empire bases and, you know, have the royal palace, the buildings, be themed to Empire-ish stuff.
It is kind of interesting how Skeleton Crew went from like the Goonies to Treasure Planet.
They literally called it a treasure planet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob.
I don't know. This is kind of an interesting one.
It is.
It's like I don't know why this one popped by. Like, yeah, the Empire would celebrate New Year's by blowing up a planet.
Well, of course, they're evil.
Yeah.
Get it?
I mean, they can make their own fireworks.
There you go.
Like,
You know, guys, it was so fun. We saw Alderaan. Did you see how great it looked when the Death Star blew up Alderaan? Let's do it again, but around the holidays. Wouldn't that be great?
There you go.
We don't celebrate Life Day. We need
Life Day
something.
by having a fucking Gungan genocide.
You know, Life Day's about the stupid space candles. Let's do a Roman candle, you know, of an explosion.
but either way, I'm going to go with Eli on this one.
Hey.
Okay. Let's see.
I feel like I did
I'm-
get a little caught up in the weeds of the details with the ad and stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like the idea of them like the Empire can't have that shit.
Right. Yeah.
He said I did like that, but I think Eli kind of was like oh yeah, like of all the planets, like Palpatine would probably want to destroy Naboo the most.
Maybe
arguing finance wasn't the best strategy, Tiki.
But yeah, so Eli, you're good too, and you can creep your way back up.
Let's see.
'Cause I'm
But-
a creep.
By the way, Rohit, I don't want your feelings hurt. Okay, I want you to know I did take down your speed round question, but it seems like I don't know. I don't know if we'll see if we'll be able to use it, but I don't think we will.
I can take it.
Okay. It's really
Drag-
good. I really like it, but Jacob said, we should probably avoid the ones that we've kind of covered, the areas we already covered already. So
I mean, if it was a really good one, I mean,
What
go-
areas haven't we covered at this point, though? We haven't done like a park-specific speed round, I guess, if you guys have one of those, but I don't know if you do.
I mean, I'd say that. I mean, obviously, Dragon, you came up with one of yours. I mean, you just did one of mine. So go with Rohit's question.
all right. Let's hope it's good enough. This is my favorite of what he sent, but we'll see. All right.
Dragon, can't you see you're breaking his heart?
If no one likes it, it's all Rohit's fault.
Can't
Okay.
you see- can't
When-
you see your-
Really hyping up this question, Dragon.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. All right. Which upcoming Pixar film would be better as a Disney Plus series instead?
Oh, shit, that's a good question.
Oh boy.
Oh, God, what?
Oh, wait, we have a comment from It Came from the 90s. Hey, Disney debates again. Exciting.
Okay, I'm trying to think of upcoming Disney Plus stuff or Pixar stuff there is.
There's 3 that we know that are coming, so
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Elio, I guess.
Okay.
Hoppers.
Okay.
Hopper.
Yeah.
I feel bad picking these two because it's like I want to see more original Pixar stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Rohit, I'm not happy with this question. It's all your fault.
There you go.
No, I'm
When
kidding.
Use that energy to attack your opponent, Tiki. Same with you, Eli. I want some blood on the floor.
Bring Sandy Claus back. It came from the '90s. Sandy Claus, he has a kid now, dude. Sandy Claus is coming back anytime soon.
If I remember correctly, I think that is Sandy.
Oh, is it?
I thought you were being playful. You didn't know that was Sandy?
Is that you, Ezra?
Yes,
Oh, I
it's
didn't
him.
Ezra,
Oh,
reveal yourself if it's you.
How you doing, Ezra? Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good New Year.
And hope the family's doing. Hope you're having a good time with.
I just
with
thought
the family.
randomly there was like somebody who was like I just thought there was like randomly like a diehard Sandy Claus fan out there. All right.
Oh,
Hello, Ezra.
Come on.
Nice to see you.
Well, Dagon, considering he has a wife and son, I think he has 2 very big fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They don't count. That's family.
Hey.
Jesus Christ. All right. Let's get off of this.
You have a loving family.
Can we please not bring this man's personal life into it, dude?
You're the one
Yeah.
who brought it up.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Not intentionally.
Because he forgot who he was.
I legitimately.
But even I didn't know as well. So that goes for 2.
Well, you're a tag along. You don't know Sandy.
Yeah, Ezra, I'll hit you up and see if we can slot you in for something at some point. I would like to have you back in the because obviously I know you're super busy, so that's.
I mean,
why.
if you're available, so
Maybe you can be on the next debate.
Possibly. All right.
that's great.
So,
Anyways, okay, Ezra, if you have a Disney debate speed round question that you would like to throw out, by all
If you got one, Ezra, yeah, we'd love to hear.
yeah.
so we gonna go with the with Rohit's question.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll go with it now.
Wait, was it universally hated, or do we still like it?
No, I'm kidding. I mean,
Rohit's just
Dragon,
he's playing the set Hulk music.
set to the question, right answers. Let them debate.
all
There
right.
you go.
So it's Elio versus Hoppers. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. What are we going to have to say? Because we've not yet seen these movies. So
Well,
I got
well,
some
the
argument.
question is which one of them should have been from what you've seen should be a Disney Plus series instead.
yeah, I know, but still.
So explain why. So Tiki, start explaining why Elio should instead of a movie be a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, so I just think that Elio, just as a concept, is a lot more like broad and high concept, and obviously it's in the realm of sci-fi, where I really feel like watching the trailers, Elio does not get me excited. I'm not digging the sense of humor. I'm not really digging the character designs.
No.
But I feel like if it were to be stretched out into a series, maybe some of the bigger concepts and kind of ideas could get elaborated on a little bit more.
For me, Hopper's, well, because I know little of it. I mean, I'm aware of what's going to happen in this movie, but despite the fact we haven't gotten a single trailer for this yet, but sometime, I guess, later this year we will. But I'm thinking that probably it could work as a miniseries. Like, imagine having the human who turns into a beaver tagging along with, I guess, a human friend of his, and, like, funny adventures they go on, and up until the very end of the last episode, and when it all turns out pretty good, and hey, the beaver turns back into the human, and so on.
So I feel like you're basically pitching what could be a supplemental series after the movie. But the thing is, I think Hopper's, just the actual concept of the movie, is small scale enough that it would work fine as a movie. Whereas I think the concept of Elio, like, warrants the extra exploration.
Yeah, I mean, Elio seems like it could be a perfect thing for it to be a series, because, I mean, after all, it is science fiction, so what gives? But I don't know. Hopper's could, if there was a way that it could work as a miniseries, and with what goes down in it.
To be fair, Hoppers is also basically science fiction.
No,
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
it's
I
a
know.
bigger, and I won't
But
debate
it's not like really from what I can tell, it doesn't look like it's like a full blown.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
anyways.
So it's not like hard science
Yeah,
fiction.
let's not
I know.
let that influence the
Rohit,
at all.
counselor, what say you? Who made the better argument?
I think in terms of the arguments that are made, I didn't really hear a lot from Eli making sort of the strong case about why Hopper should be a TV show. Whereas for Tiki, he made the point that with sort of the concept premise of this person being like an ambassador of Earth to these alien races, you can explore these high concepts episode to episode. So in this regard, the point goes to Tiki.
And that brings it to 5.
All right.
Okay.
You know what that means.
But Ezra already did a submission.
Yeah, we can play Ezra's question. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we're out of time.
But Tiki wins.
Well, I
that
mean,
one
if
for
you guys
fun.
want to, we can do Ezra's question and also that New Year's question you had in mind. I have a little bit more time.
Just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would be fun. Non-canon. Time for the non-canon exhibition round.
Don't worry, kids. None
There
of this
you-
is canon.
And I think you guys done this before, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have.
yeah. So there you go.
So, I mean, I think my point for that one would have been like, plus Daniel Chung hasn't experienced, show running an actual animated series, so he would actually have some good, background in doing that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Like, being the creator of We Bear Bears.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I still need to watch that.
oh, it's good.
Yes.
It is good. It's very good.
Wait, what is?
We
It's
Bear
on
Bears.
Netflix, right?
No, it's on
No.
Well, it's on Cartoon Network, but it is on Disney. But it's technically on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hulu merge thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because it's not on Max.
Yeah, that's stupid. Anyways,
Curse you, Zaslav!
Then again, really,
we should probably do Ezra's question first.
Yeah.
I guess.
it's a quick draw question.
Oh, come on, Dragon.
Alright. Which classic Disney film would be better as a Muppets remake? Alice in Wonderland or Snow White?
Alice in Wonderland.
Snow White.
All right.
He took Alice in Wonderland. Well, that means I'm taking Snow White.
Well, there you go.
Them's the breaks.
That's the beauty of the quick draw.
Yeah.
So I just think that with Alice in Wonderland, it's pretty much like unlimited. You don't even really have to pull in all the characters. You can pretty much do whatever the hell you want with it. It's an open canvas. With Snow White, I feel like Snow White's a more rigid story. You've got the 7 dwarves that you would have to fill out, which could be fun to cast. But I just feel like with Wonderland itself and with the story being basically just an episodic series of vignettes, I feel like that fits perfectly with Muppets, whereas Snow White is just kind of like a traditional fairy tale.
For Snow White, fun fact, maybe you guys know this, there is a comic book of this. It's real. And imagine if they adapted the comic book of the Muppets doing Snow White. Because in the comic, you have Miss Piggy playing both roles, Snow White and the Queen. You have the Electric Mayhem playing the dwarves, Fozzie Bear the Magic Mirror, etc. Imagine how that would look with the Muppets themselves actually doing Snow White, and how it would look in the style of the Muppets, the sets, the wardrobe that the Muppets wear, the personalities that they do, playing those characters. That would be amazing.
All right, I'll give Tiki like two or three extra seconds here.
Okay. Again, I think it comes down to just the fact that Alice in Wonderland is just a blank canvas, and that just goes more with what the Muppets are and what their sense of humor is. I think with Snow White, there is some interesting things you can go with it, but I just think the Muppets offers more potential, more possibilities.
Alice in Wonderland could be a pretty good one, too. Technically, they already did something Alice in Wonderland on The Muppet Show with Brooke Shields, but, for the Snow White one, this could be more interesting, and maybe it would be a much better, Snow White film than the live-action remake.
All right, Ezra, it's your call.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, boy. So did you guys not know that there was a comic book of the Muppets doing Snow White by any
I
chance?
did not know that, no.
It's real. I've seen it, yeah. I even own... There's another one that they did, which is Peter Pan. I owned that one.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
No?
Nice.
Thank you, Ezra.
Woo! I mean, not that it matters since this is not canon, but
Yeah.
still good work, Eli.
Mm-hmm. And then Ezra, I don't know if you knew, too, that there was a comic book of the Muppets doing Snow White. Again, it's real, so...
Okay, and yeah, we're just a little over an hour and a half, so we got time for the New Year's question if you guys want to do that one.
Yep. Dragon?
All right. Okay. Okay, from a Disney or Pixar film, who would make the best New Year's Eve drinking buddy?
Oh, no.
Okay, so just to be clear, when you say Disney, you mean Walt Disney Animation Studios only, right?
Well, you're going to have to direct that to the boy, Jacob.
I pretty much like any Disney or Pixar character.
Answer the question, Walt Disney Animation Studios, or does live action count?
Yeah. Let's just stick with live. Let's just stick with the WDAS.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Kronk.
Kronk.
Oh, no. There's so many good choices.
My pick for any of these, if he's on the table, is always going to be Jack Sparrow. But since Jack Sparrow is not on the table,
Jack Sparrow would be too obvious of an answer, though.
I know.
As that goes for all the other pirate characters. You know what? I'm down to I'm going back and forth between these two because they're good choices. I don't know. You know what? He was on my mind first. Dawson from The Great Mouse Detective.
Ooh, Dawson.
Oh man, deep cut. Jesus.
I know. Like I said, he was the first one on my mind. My second one, the second one for me was Smee, but I'm gonna go for Dawson.
Ooh, Smee would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Kronk would just be such a blast. I mean, we've seen Kronk stone cold sober. Imagine the comic hilarity of Kronk on a drinking bender. I mean, imagine, he would just be talking to himself with the shoulder angels. He'd be whipping out the, by all accounts, it doesn't make any sense charts. It would just be so fun. The comedic sensibilities of Kronk would just be dialed up to 11, and it would be fucking glorious.
Okay, yeah. Well, Dawson, in particularly, because, well, if you've seen The Great Mouse Detective, you know that sequence where he and Basil, they've made their way to this bar and such, and at a certain point, Dawson getting drunk off his mouse butt, and even when at one point he gets up on stage and is dancing, he's having the best time of his life, and tell me that's not someone you'd want to, hang out with and just, dance goofy and such, and just drunk off your butt. Like, not to say that I would want to get drunk, but still.
I mean, I give you props for finding a character who has gotten drunk, like, canonically. That's some good deep cuts for you. But I just think Kronk, it comes down to popularity, and, like, Kronk is the guy that you're wanting. Like, he is the all-star. He's the Mount Rushmore. You want him.
Kronk I'm not so sure of because, well, I'm just saying, because, like, this is Kronk we're talking about. Do we really want to see a harmless man like Kronk, like, get drunk and so on? That just would not seem right for his character. Dawson, on the other hand, well, he was drunk, so there's nothing much to say on that. Just, yeah, we know.
All right, I guess I'm going to be casting the vote for this one.
Yep.
All right. Honestly, my vote would have gone to Eli for that one, especially because he brought up the exact point I wanted to hear with Kronk. Like, Kronk's too wholesome. He probably
there
wouldn't.
You go. He is too wholesome.
He probably wouldn't want to get drunk anyway. Plus, it would take so much for him to get drunk, considering how big he is.
I'm not gonna lie, Eli. As soon as I realized that you're right, like Dawson had gotten drunk on camera, like in canon, and it was fun. I was like, I was almost tempted to just give it to you at that point. Eli, seriously, that was a really good like redemption argument for you. I think you should kind of walk away from the debate with your head held high. It didn't go great for you as far as the actual points. But I think by the end of these non-canon rounds, I think you really kind of came into your own.
Yeah,
that Dawson pick, they totally threw me through a loop. I would have never expected it.
Yeah, Dawson was definitely an inspired pick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially coming from an underrated gem.
I legitimately forgot that he did get drunk in that movie. Like, so yeah, that was hard to argue against.
He got up there and danced with all the showgirls.
Exactly, and I can tell that you haven't seen Great Mouse Detective in quite a while.
The last time I watched it was when I did my, when I watched all the Walt Disney Animation Studios movies for the Great Disney rankings.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, during that time, I was like cramming like 2 or 3 Disney movies a week. So, a lot of it kind of ran together for me.
But yeah, so very good round there. I'm glad we were able to squeeze that one in.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you guys did. This is a fun match. So I don't have much more to say.
Yeah.
Dragon, you want to take us out?
Yep. Welcome to the new year, everyone. We've said goodbye to 2024, and we're eager for the new year, full of new surprises, and God help us.
And I'm I'm with you, LEB. Yeah, Great Mouse Detective rules.
Yeah,
it's one of my all-time favorite Disney animated films.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, like, literally every other week in the new year is not going to be as cataclysmically, like, what the fuck is the world literally ending as this first week has been. Holy shit. Starts with a terrorist attack, ends with a devastating fucking wildfire the likes that California has never seen. Dragon, take us out. Oh my god. I am not ready for 2025.
Nobody is.
After this year, we're closer to 2050.
Oh, fuck you, wrote it.
You had to go.
On that note, how about
go that route?
Yeah, so
now